Hi guys, welcome back to the Big Sew Along. I'm Ginny, and as always, I thank you very much for choosing to spend a little time with me. Today we're going to have a little mid-season inspiration video, but before I get to that, I will tell you what I'm wearing. I just made this up last week. This is a Tropical Research lazy top that I made into a dress. I'll show you a picture of it here. This is in a cotton, I don't know if it's, I guess it's a voile, cotton voile. With little clip dots on it that I got from Stone Mountain & Daughter either last spring or last summer. I am wearing this with a pair of Trousers 101 from Merchant & Mills, and these are in a 100% rayon challis, but I don't remember where I got it. I love these pants. This is the second time I've made them, and I really love these pants. Okay, let's get on with our inspiration. Any of you who've been watching my channel for any length of time know that I love a caftan or a caftan inspired garment. So we're going to start there. I'll say before I get started, like everybody else on the planet, I was inundated with emails announcing sales right after the first of the year. I saved a couple of them from two of my favorite stores. One is a local store here in downtown Detroit called Eugenie, and the other one is a store, I believe they're in Germany. I'm not 100% sure. The name is Bitte Kai Rand. I'm going to put the name up here. It's actually a designer, so not just a store. And I'm sure I have no idea how to say that name, so I apologize if I butchered that. But those are the two emails that I saved, and I just picked a few because I really liked a few of the things that they had in their sale section. So I just picked a few of those things and used those for inspiration for this video. I hope that you guys will find something that you like here. So the first one is this sort of caftan-y dress kind of thing. It is a really low cut. It has a wider drapey sleeve. This one comes almost to the ankle. It looks like it's in a very flowy, drapey fabric. And then I also have this one here. This one almost looks like the Cris Sews envelope dress. But it does have, it's got a spread open like a V-neck here, and it does have a little sort of mandarin-like collar on it. This one's about knee length, and again, it has shorter sleeves, but not quite as full as the previous photo. So those are my caftan inspiration pictures. For caftan patterns, I have a couple for you. This one here is from the assembly line, and I think it's actually just called the caftan dress. I may have shown you guys this one before, but it definitely has a nice low V neckline, although not quite as low as our inspiration, which in my case I would say is good. It has a similar longer, like 3/4 length drapey sleeve, and this one also comes almost to the ankle. It has like a slight like overlap at the front as opposed to just a straight cut V-neck, but I think that that's a really nice detail. And then I have this one. There we go. This one is from Wardrobe by Me, and this one's called the Aurora Caftan. It does have a flounce at the bottom, but I'm going to show you a picture of one here where they made it with just like a low ruffle at the bottom. It does have that sort of banded collar and a V neckline. This one has a shorter sleeve, so like just almost like, it looks almost like a drop sleeve. I'm not so sure about, see if I have a line drawing, maybe I can see. Oh yeah, so you have an option for just a drop sleeve, for a long sleeve, and I think there are a few collar options on that one as well, but I really love this style. I think this would be really pretty if you wanted to be super fancy. You could do either of those in like a really pretty silk charmeuse. They would also be great in let's see, a rayon challis or a viscose tencel kind of thing. Anything with like a nice like drapey look to it. A cotton voile would be good. A really lightweight linen would also be really cool. Okay, so next up is the shirt dress. Now this shirt dress is a little different than my typical choice for a shirt dress. This one has a traditional shirt collar, like an elbow length wider sleeve, but it only buttons up from the waist up, And then it has like a slightly fuller skirt at the bottom. It looks like they have some sort of a waistband or a belt or something on here. Not my typical style. I usually don't go for things that have like a actual like defined waist like this, but I really love the look of this. And I thought for patterns, I have another I have another assembly line pattern for this one. It's just called, this one's just called the shirt dress. And you can see here, it definitely has like a waist seam there. It is not as full in the skirt as the inspiration is. And it has a narrower sleeve. This one also buttons all the way up. But in any case, I feel like all of those things are fine. You can change those if you want to, but this one would give you a pretty similar look, especially if you did some sort of a tie at the waist. The other one I have for this is from a company called Ready to Sew, and this one is called the Jolene. Again, it has a slightly longer and narrower sleeve. This one definitely has a more defined waist with a slightly fuller skirt, and it buttons all the way up the front. I think both of these are really good. This one has a slightly more vintagey style, whereas the other one has like a more modern looking collar. This one's more almost like a Peter Pan collar. But in any case, I think you could make that dress out of either of those patterns, and I would love this in the spring in a nice crisp cotton poplin. I think that would be really beautiful. Let's see, what's next? The Umpire tank dress, which is, where was my inspiration for this? I don't know if you'd really call this a tank dress. It has like spaghetti straps here. It's got sort of a square neckline, and I can't tell if this one is actually like buttons up the front. It does not. It's actually just got a seam up the front, and then it's got a gathered skirt on it. So it's pretty simple and pretty basic. This is the kind of thing though that you could wear like in a lot of different fabrics and all year long in different ways. And I have some good patterns for this one. I have the Mccalls 8193, which is here. This is a picture of it made up. I think this one actually has like 3 separate tiers, but you could easily make it just like the one tier and make it longer. This one has bust darts, and it has a couple different options for the straps, but it's got a very similar feel to it. I feel like the line drawing doesn't really look as much like my inspiration as I originally thought it did, but I think you could definitely get the same kind of vibe from this pattern. Or this one from the Avid Seamstress, which is called just the Avid Seamstress Sun dress. I think this is probably a little bit closer, and all you would really have to do is lengthen the skirt and shorten the bodice a little bit. I like that this dress actually has a slightly wider strap because it's a little bit easier if you want to wear it as an actual sundress instead of something underneath it. It's nice to have that wider strap so you can wear a bra. This one would be really cool in like a ton of different fabrics. The inspiration picture here has it made in denim, which I think would be really cool if it was a lightweight denim, if it wasn't too bulky just because of the gathers around the waist. But you could also do it in a cool, like just cotton, mid-weight cotton print. It would be great in a rayon challis again, or of course it would be wonderful in linen. I would love that in a linen. I have another shirt dress for you. I forgot about this one. This one is a little bit closer to my personal traditional sort of style, which is just a more straight cut. This one here has almost like a V neckline, and I can't really tell in this picture, but it looks like it might have like a little mandarin collar. It has like a 3/4 sleeve, and it's cut pretty straight. It's not really full. It's not like an A-line, but it's also not like, it's not also not tight fitting. There are like no darts or anything like that. So for patterns for this, I thought you could use this, what is this called? The Minimalist shirt from Tropical Research, which I think is very similar. It does have a mandarin collar. It buttons all the way up, so it doesn't have like that V-neck shape at the front, but you could alter that if you wanted to. I think the sleeves and the overall silhouette are pretty spot on for our inspiration. And also I have another Wardrobe by Me pattern here. This one is called the Savannah shirt. Really the same thing. It's got a round neck instead of that V-neck, but again, that's pretty easy to alter if you wanted the V-neck. And again, the overall shape I think is pretty much spot on for our inspiration picture. Okay, what's next? I was really in love with this dress. I hope you're going to be able to see. It actually is just like a wrap style dress, but instead of having a tie, they've closed it with a button. Now this one has, pretty sure this one has a collar on it. Oh no, it doesn't. It has like just like a slightly, the neck comes up just a little bit. It's a pretty loose fitting bodice. It looks like it's about 3/4 sleeves, although it's hard to tell in this picture. And then the skirt portion is gathered, but it's not a ton of gathering. And I kind of feel like the Merchant & Mills Etta is really kind of perfect for this. I keep losing my pictures. This one here. I think this is really kind of perfect for this if you just like remove that tie on the side and closed it with a button. I love this, and I think it would be really cool. I was really inspired by the picture, by the fabric in the original picture. And although it's not the same at all, I did recently just get this fabric here from Elizabeth Suzanne. It's like a silk, I'm sorry, it's a linen, I think this is a linen rayon blend, I can't remember. It has like a little bit of a rough texture. I love this for this dress. I also think it would be really cool to do this in, obviously it would be great in linen. I would also really like this in a noil. Either a silk or a rayon noil would be really, really cool, especially if you get one with like some kind of a print on it. I love this dress. The drop waist dress that I found, this is a little bit kooky, you guys, but I have to say, I kind of love the way this looks. It's like a midi, like mid-calf length dress with a V-neck. It's loose fitting but not oversized, and it has an asymmetric gathered skirt. This particular dress, actually, I think that the dress has two front pieces. One of the gathers starts here and one of the gathers starts lower. I couldn't find anything exactly like that, but I did find this pattern from Tauko magazine. This one is called, I think it's called Tamara. And where's my picture? I'll show you a picture here. This is not going to be very helpful. It's just like a weird, I couldn't find any very good pictures of the long version, which is what I was going for, but here's a shorter version, and it does have a similar feel if you made it in a lace. I think making it in a lace would be super, super cool and really fun for summer. You could totally wear it just over a tank top and a pair of jeans or something. I love that idea. I think that's really cool. The spaghetti strap jumpsuit. I have two jumpsuits for you guys, and you guys know I never do jumpsuits, but I really liked these. So this first one is this one here. It's a spaghetti strap, round neck jumpsuit with a wide leg, overall loose fitting. You could do this in a ton of different fabrics. I have no idea what this fabric is, but I would love this in, well, any kind of like silk charmeuse, or a satin back crepe would be really nice in a silk. Anything like that that's like nice and heavy and slinky. If you're not feeling like that for the expense, any rayon would be great for this. Like a rayon twill, a rayon challis, any of those things, especially if you get a really cool rayon challis print. I think that would be really cool. I have a few patterns for you guys for this. The first one is the Style Arc Norman. It looks to me like they have this one made up in a suiting or maybe lightweight linen with like a pinstripe. This one has a V-neck and slightly wider straps, but it definitely has the right silhouette in terms of the wider body and the wider legs. This one does have a inseam pockets as well, and I think this could definitely give you that same vibe. If you wanted the same idea but with a narrower leg, this one is Mccalls number 8165. Again, this would be really fun for warmer weather when you could just like pop this on over a t-shirt or a tank top and put on a pair of sandals and be done. I think that's really cute too. The third one is this one called the Olive Jumpsuit by Untitled Thoughts. Again, this is a V-neck as opposed to a scoop. It's like a slight V. Has two options for the back. One is really low, but for me that's out. This one has a waist, a tie at the waist, but I think if you just leave that tie off, then our jumpsuit is almost exactly that. It does have like the skinny straps. Again, I think this would be really cute to wear over a tank top or a t-shirt or something. And then, excuse me, I just recently, just this morning, found this thing called, this one here is called the Tate Romper by Small Museum Patterns. This one totally has that vibe to me, although it's made a little bit differently. It's got a more fitted bodice part, or yeah, a more fitted bodice part with the spaghetti straps, and then just really wide, long, full legs that come all the way up to the, like an Umpire waist. Again, not exactly the same style, but definitely the same vibe. And next, the next jumpsuit is this one, which I also think is really cool. I think this one is actually in linen. It's got like a wider shoulder, almost like a tank. I think that the V-neck on this might be slightly asymmetrical. I'm not 100% sure. Pretty much straight legs. It's not like flared and it's not pegged or anything like that. It does have this super funky pocket right in the middle, which you could totally do by just like making a window pocket, or even a, what is it called? A welt pocket right there in the middle if you wanted to. This would be really cool like at any time of year, because I could see this with a long sleeve t-shirt and a pair of boots, or like a sweater over it too, if you wanted to wear it like now while it's, well, around here while it's so cold out. Okay, so for our patterns for this, I have the True Bias Rory jumpsuit, which looks like this. This one is really, really similar. The differences are that it has like some front pockets and it has these buttons up the front. I'm not opposed to either of those. I think if you did this pattern in a solid colored, like bold colored linen, just like the purple one that we saw in our inspiration, that would be really cool. You could do it in like a bright red, or if you like greens, or any just solid colored, bold, solid colored linen would be really, really cool for this. Okay. And the other one I have is another wardrobe by me. It's called the Aviator Jumpsuit. This is it in a sleeveless shorts version, but I'll show you the line drawings here and you can see why I think this is pretty good for this, especially this long leg sleeveless version with no extra pockets or anything. I think that's pretty much spot on to our inspiration, except it does, again, have the button up front. Now, the third one I have is Butterick 5652, which has been around for a while, and you could get this pattern and get your caftan and your jumpsuit in the same pattern. Here's a picture of the jumpsuit. It's just a line drawing. They didn't have any pictures of anybody wearing it. And then here's the actual line drawings, and you can see, like, I think this is pretty close to our inspiration, and I have no issues with these caftan versions either. I think that they're both cool and probably pretty easy to put together. Alright guys, that is it for me this week. I hope you all found something there to inspire you to get through the rest of the season, whether it's warm or cold, wherever you are. Next week, I think we're going to be talking about Ponte. A few weeks ago, before the holidays, I did a video on everything I know about French terry, and in the comments on that video, I had several requests for a similar video about Ponte fabrics. So that is what we'll be talking about next week. I can't wait for that. I hope it'll be interesting for you guys. Until then, I wish you all happy sewing.